Perfect. All right, guys, we're back. Thank you for watching those ads. We're going to get into the group finals starting right now. It's Catalyst. We're on the Korean server, and it's going to be that PvZ. This a momentous occasion for Denver for sure. I think a lot of people, myself included, were surprised to see him win the group. I came in today thinking I know either him or Xanster has the power to come out in second. I did not see him coming out in first, and that is so freaking cool that he did.
Very cool.
But this has now presented us with an awkward Korean versus Korean finals. Only one of these two can advance through. Spawning to the top left for the third time today, it is Hurricane.
In the bottom right, as the red Zerg, it is Impact.
This is actually, sorry, the way you said Impact, a little bit. This is cool because no player played each other, like no repeats in the group basically, which is awesome. And then on top of that, like we just have this incredibly unforeseen consequence of a finals. But this works out perfectly too, because this was a European qualifier group and a Korean qualifier group that fed into one group that would move to the round of 8. It's so befitting that one European and one Korean are who advance out of the group.
I guess it is fitting. Nice little package with a bow on it. And going into the round of 8s, and the live draw will happen eventually after this. I really thought they both had such weird, different best of 5s that I really don't know how to call this game. I mean, it's a little more comfortable on the Korean server, where Hurricane went from looking kind of bad versus Zerg to looking really good versus Zerg. And Impact looked, well, I didn't play this matchup. He looked really good versus one Zerg, and then really bad or not as good versus another.
So here's a fun tidbit too. I'm just looking at the qualifiers of who went through for the other groups. If Impact wins this, we will actually have an equal number of Protoss and Zerg going into the round of 8. If Hurricane wins this, then it's slightly Protoss favored.
Awesome.
I know, it feels bad there's no Terran, but for those who don't know who advanced from the other groups, it's worth noting the European group was Mana and DNS, the Korean group was Solar and Hero, the North American group was Scarlet and Neeb, and then of course this group you're watching today is Denver and one of these two players.
Yes. So to be clear, I mean, 2 Terrans were lost on patch 4.0, but a lot of Terrans just didn't even sign up or play, and then if they did, they got knocked out, so...
Yeah, I was gonna say the Terran. Well, it was so surprised for the Korean group. We had a live and Innovation both died to Hero and Stats. Granted, Hero and Stats phenomenal players, but I was like, there's for sure gonna be a Terran who gets through this, right? All right, what about the other Korean group with Gumiho? No, he lost to a laser twice. Like,
yeah,
that blew me away. I kind of forgot how he got through that, man. Then he lost to TY later, all that good stuff. And oops, I forgot I was playing on the Korean server. One sec, guys, let me fix that.
So yeah,
but yeah, we've had this whole season has had some really cool stories to it, I gotta say.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that much. You know, the prevailing story is going to be there's no Terrans, but the point that I was trying to make was that it's not because of the most recent patch, at least not entirely. Keen and Jakshi might have had a bit more of a chance, to be honest. Like, there's no getting around it. Terrans are having trouble against Protoss, and they certainly did. If it wasn't the new patch, but hey, it was, so unlucky.
Well, that's the key thing, though, that you brought up. Most of this, 75% of this played before the patch hit, so this was a long-standing problem and not recent QQ. But that being said, the finals, the round of 8, all this stuff is meant to finish up this month, and I'm hoping that, because we do have something, I'm going to tease it, you know, it's unannounced, but we've got a $5,000 something tournament coming up in December. I'm hoping the state of the game, the state of balance is looking a little bit better there, because I would be very sad if we go from this tournament, as great as it is, having no Terrans, to a second tournament having no Terrans.
Oh, God. Not that these matchups aren't fun at all, but, you know, 3 races is better than 2. Diversity, variety, all that.
I agree, man.
Oh, God. Okay, so no Terrans, TLDR. To this actual game we have here. Again, the series, I really don't know how to call it, but this game starts off with an Oracle, forcing a lot of build cancels.
How fast you gotta be, like literally a microsecond between each Oracle attack to actually build cancel that in time? Nice moves out of Impact.
Yeah, yeah. Hurricane goes to the fast third base. It seems that it really feels like Hurricane thought of these new builds to use. Maybe some people had told him how good Colossus are again, or something like that. And he got out of his system in the first best of 5. When he realized that it wasn't going to work, he was like, F that. And in the next best of 5, Hurricane was doing a lot of what we usually see. You know, like the Twilight Council Forge, Stargate openers, emphasis on Immortals, like not 2-base Colossus or something like that. And it's worked much, much better for him.
Yeah, I think he really got back to basics with Xanster, and that was an important way to play. I will just note, too, so everyone's fully aware, like, a lot of this is really just patch jitters, I think is how I'd phrase it. Because there's no big tournament, like, there's no next season of GSL these guys are hiding builds for. There's nothing like that going on. It's entirely the off-season with, like, the exception to WASG, but that's more of, like, a European thing right now than it is a Korean thing.
Yes, the European finals are happening next week, I think.
With a very interesting variety of casters. Better than last year's, for sure. But it's just like,
I mean,
Valdez?
Yeah, that's the one that kind of shaped me up too. Not because he's a bad caster, it just is like you got the Europeans that make a lot of sense for a European tournament, and Loco having one of his, I don't want to say debut. I think he did something kind of biggish a while ago. But anyways, European, good guy. Everyone loves Loco. And then you have Valdez, who lives in Korea, and
well, that's exactly it, right?
Just,
like,
yeah.
Loco, Roddy, Wardy. There's a theme there. It's like Valdez. Which of these 4 is different from the other?
Yeah, that was a little shocker, but ah well, it is happening. As I said, I think that next weekend, lots of sentries.
Ooh.
Good God.
Big deny of this attack with those force fields. He's not even trying to attack the rocks. Like, at least tear those down instead of doing nothing.
Yeah, that's a good point. I love the forward shield batteries. I mean, remember you had forward pylons for overcharge. It makes sense you had forward pylons for shield batteries.
And the shield batteries will heavily sustain these units. Obviously, it's not going to keep them from dying indefinitely,
dear God.
But look at that adept. That adept
sure.
Dude, this adept just went through like 9 lives. This isn't a cat. This is a little... These are cat batteries. Oh my God.
Cat batteries. They knock the ball off and start playing with it.
Just randomly, like, cups on the floor.
That just went so bad. Okay, you see that army? What?
I just realized, too, they won't do what you want them to do. They won't heal buildings unless you, like, really force them to.
So that attack wasn't like devastating for impact, but it was pretty bad. Like he had 3 bases, wanted a lot more damage done. He has a response to the Colossus that are on the way with the Spire, but he is investing in Immutas first, and just a very light army, literally a light army up against a growing anti-light army of Hurricane.
Oh man, let's see how many people I can piss off today with this comment. Nathanius is talking a lot about mech builds in chat, and guys, I'm gonna go ahead and just say it. I think Nathanius is playing better on this patch than some of the top Korean pros like TY and Innovation. Fight me.
Oh man, so for the most part, I've had people say like, okay, I can see your point. I kind of agree with you when I say that foreigners do better in the expansions or the new patches. And someone at BlizzCon actually fought with me about it. And I was like, okay, let me clarify a little bit more. They develop the strategies faster and better, and then the Koreans seem to be the ones that like take it and perfect it.
Well, for me, like, to be clear, guys, I'm making a joke with that comment, but if you realistically look at some things, like Innovation has this clip on Reddit right now where he just... the Ravens come in with their interference matrix, which is a stupid name, by the way, the scrambler missiles, and he just like puts question marks in chat. He literally didn't understand what happened. Whereas I'm like watching Nathanius like totally like use Thors and Ravens to their fullest extent, and it's just one of those things where, like, again, foreigners or otherwise, there are just some people out there, regardless of where they're from, that are better at figuring out the game. Like for me, Supernova and MMA were the leaders of this when it came to Koreans. MMA's back kind of, and Supernova, I don't know what's going on with him, but like they're not really in their full pro status that they were back in the day. So it's a little sad not seeing those innovators be who they are.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess it's not too much here because there isn't a Terran player and there's not going to be a Terran player in TING. But there is a little bit to be said about, again, like the Protoss here, Hurricane obviously adapting on the fly a little bit. He opened up with a more normal opener, but then all these shield batteries seem to be a recent addition. Like, hey, that's actually a pretty good idea. Into Colossus, that makes a lot of sense. And now we have Impact having to go for Corruptors, which, man, it's a very old dynamic that it's very difficult to actually execute correctly because your ground army is still really easy to lose as a Zerg player.
This is a good one. Fractal Cactus is, why would he be called innovation if you weren't innovative? Checkmate, Rifkin. You got me.
Well, he is. Like, it's, that's been a meme for a while, but he was the one innovating, like, the Cyclone.
Oh, double Ravens, the triple Cyclones, Ravens. Like, innovation kind of technically stole Ryung's build, or Beyond did.
Like, innovation does do it, but far more often with, you know, what I was talking about earlier to further explain, it's like the foreigners are the ones that try really weird different things. The streamers are the ones that try really weird different things, and maybe there's a glimpse of the pros, the guys who are usually standard, and they're like, that sounds a good idea, I'm going to try that.
It's so funny watching how much one shield battery, 75 minerals, shuts down like all Muta harass, by the way. That is wonderful to see.
Yeah, I'm really, I guess I'm glad, yeah, I'm really glad they're changing the shield battery. I thought the most recent patch update, which isn't live yet, but I don't know when, maybe Tuesday, I thought that was actually a very appropriate response. They didn't even touch the Blink Stalkers, which everyone was complaining about. I
was actually surprised with the shield battery. They didn't just tone down the rate at which it heals, because I think that's the problem with it. That thing could have 1,000 energy for all I care, as long as like you could actually still two-shot workers with things that are meant to two-shot workers. Like watching two ghosts not be able to kill a probe to me is insane.
But that really is the purpose of it, so I kind of see the point. I prefer at least if it's more expensive, and it's going to be 25 more minerals, which still isn't like that much more, but something.
It's
a bunker.
Oh my god, I didn't even realize they were cheaper than a bunker right now, but you're right.
Oh dear lord, god. Okay, this has gone really late game. Impact has gotten to Hive, but he has not gotten to Brood Lord, so these Corruptors need to get on top of those Colossus and actually kill them. But that's kind of the problem. They're gonna get so many shots off before they die.
So what happened last time with Hurricane, if you guys remember, the Baneleys managed to get through everything, hit the Sentries, hit the Templar, and it happened again this game. Corruptors have taken out the last Colossus as well, and well, Juke's out actually with the Warp Prism. That was kind of a cool save, but unfortunately, this didn't go very well for Hurricane, who's still stuck on, I guess, limited follow-up to this. Like, his upgrades with +3 are great. He's got weapons, but he's not prepared to deal with what Impact has coming.
Yeah, the Broodlords are a real problem, but by losing most of that army, having to replace the ground army, he's not going to be able to get the Tempests. Impact, I don't know how Impact was such a good engagement. It eventually went through that choke, too, which is, like, so extra bewildering, but Hurricane just doesn't place those force fields down fast enough, I guess.
Oh, man, Zombie Grub. I'd like to just really apologize for bringing you down. I didn't realize that hundreds of hours of watching pros play this game didn't qualify me to have an opinion on the game. That's my bad. I thought more of myself than I should have.
Yeah, just take it down a peg, man. Don't say anything ever. Just assume that everyone does everything correctly all the time.
These are destructible rocks, for those who don't know. This is something Impact could close off if he's worried about these kinds of attacks continuing, but seems to either not know or is content with it for now. I always think back to Echo, where pros didn't realize there was cooling towers on that third for like 3 months before everyone started knocking them down as a standard thing.
Yeah. I recently discovered the towers actually broke on this map, and I was like, oh, that's so helpful.
Another big attack comes down. This time, he does... What's interesting is Hurricane isn't having a problem fighting through the choke, as I thought might be the case. And in fact, Impact abandons his Broodlords. I'm not sure where that army was. I guess there's an attack at the bottom left he was trying to clean up, but this costs him most of, if not all of his Broodlords.
Well, this just turned really awkward. For the terrible fight that Hurricane took before this, he's getting an okay one, but with the concave now formed, yeah, that's true, he did get base snipes, but he's losing important army units. In fact, Baneling just ran into a bunch of sentries and a Templar.
Impact still is up in army supply in a pretty big way. That Colossus, I can't believe it's still standing. It's on 21 kills, by the way. Shout out to this guy. But losing 2 bases, that's a lot of economy for income down the drain. These are 73 drones that just can't mine efficiently. Colossus
yeah,
finally goes down.
Needed to blink forward. Take out those Brood Lords. There's just barely enough Hydra, so some okay upgrades. The Hurricane backs off. Okay.
It's gonna make more Brood Lords.
I do think that's the correct call. There obviously isn't a Tempest transition on the way. So ideally, Impact gets, you know, enough buffer for those Brood Lords that they are just like, they just can't be dealt with. But every single engagement, just barely not enough. They do get targeted down by the Blink Stalkers. Fungals would obviously help a little bit here too, but they drastically change. You can actually pick up in them and blink away from them, and it's just not the same Fungal it used to be.
Big attack hits the main. Spine Crawlers are not here to defend. Broodlord's is going to try and force some of the issue on this side. The shield batteries are pretty dry, so there's not a lot to actually heal the buildings.
It's trying. Okay.
Well, when it could reach, it was working to heal.
Yeah, I just can't believe he's actually bothering to micro this.
Storms take out some of the front line. Not enough Corpus to dive this Colossus. Main base hasn't gone down yet, but a lot of the drones, a lot of whatever was here, gone. The War Prism's still going to be a threat.
Very tight game here. Brood Lords, there's really not that many of them, and just instantly go down 3 of them. Instantly go down. There's so many like Stalkers, couple Storms to clean it up. GG.
I'm a little bit surprised Impact gave that game away, to be honest. And I think a lot of that came down to just that first giving away the Brood Lords, losing 2 hatcheries. Like, everything in one moment cost him everything. Oh, well, that's loud. Let's not be on that scene. All right. But so congratulations to Hurricane, who does take game 1 in the series. Not looking too bad. We're going to get to game 2 in a moment, but unfortunately, we are going to take a quick break where we normally wouldn't. I have to be right back really quick, guys. So we'll just go to 2 minutes, and when we get back, it'll be game number 2. All right, folks, we're hopping into game number 2. This is the group finals, best of 5. Briorf, thank you for the 8-month resubs. Has just got Corsair Mech Keyboard. Feels good. Ooh. DLX85, thank you for the 9 months. Heavy Trevi through 100 bits. Our waste is awesome to have you both back after BlizzCon. Good to be back. I am Dark Minions for 23 months. Nate is a terrible person. Snark Angel for 15 months. Thank you all so much for subscribing and resubscribing. My deepest gratitudes to you all. And of course, that reminder to check out the sub gift room in our Discord if you want to subscribe to the channel but can't afford it. Maybe, just maybe, there'll be some kind fella out there who will, or gal, hook you up. But spawning here in the top left, he's down 1 at the moment. It's the Blue Zerg Impact.
In the bottom right, as the red Protoss, it's Hurricane. Neither player looking particularly strong. I think just Impact maybe more stakes than Hurricane did.
That actually, I'm glad you brought it up, because I felt like that last game in general for both of them was a game of mistakes. I was not really super impressed, obviously, with the way Impact took some of it, and Hurricane, I guess, at the same time, flubbed a couple of major army engagements. So that was a messier game, I think, that even we saw the Foreigners pull off earlier today, which kind of shocks me.
Yeah. Yeah. I still, at the end, when Hurricane was looking forward and taking good engagements, I guess I was impressed by him, but it was a lot of mistakes that led up to that final engagement.
My cap to this conversation point, though, is the fact that it is incredibly late. We almost would never, under normal circumstances, ask Korean players to be competing at this hour. This group has just gone on fairly long. We've had some really good games and awesome series because of it, but this is a pretty late period to be playing after being up all day, hypothetically.
Yeah. 4 a.m.'s not so great. So some of the mistakes certainly are just them being tired, you know? I'm frustrated that they even got to the decider match instead of actually winning, as Impact maybe was hoping to do. But no one too eager to end the series. There's no early pools here. Hurricane has not thrown out his all-ins yet.
That's where you just put like an asterisk on it. Also, man, I hadn't checked Reddit all morning since we've been casting it. I just saw some comment on the Ting thread saying, that's not anything bad, but like sad to see this tournament not getting the publicity it deserves. It's like, yo, man, we had like 7,000 viewers at a point this morning. It felt pretty freaking good. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, that's weird.
Hey, Theorist, thank you for the 400 bits. Nice to have you. Become the new bit boss. Whoa, that was actually enough to kill? Really? I didn't realize Brian was so low already.
I guess so.
Rest in pepperonis, Carefree Rogue. And all hail the new bit boss.
Yeah.
So the Colossus dynamic of the matchup, I'm going to talk about this for a moment just because I don't know if it'll be Colossus or not, but I find it really interesting. The whole change for the bonus versus light versus not. First off, even just on a very basic level, I think it's hilarious because I've actually cast with, I remember casting with like Loco, for example, and a couple other like very intelligent, well-known like players for the game who always thought that they did bonus versus light, but they didn't. So I feel like this helps bridge that gap of like even new players. It just makes sense. Big units destroying little units. But secondly, I don't know how this will affect the game in terms of like balance per se for the Colossus. Because I feel even with the bonus damage versus light, Colossus aren't really the end all be all. It's usually the Storms or the Stalkers getting these shots on the Liberators. Like the Colossus are just good background damage, I feel. I don't know, what are your thoughts on that?
They're kind of like background noise, sure. But the intention to deal with Ling Baneling Hydra better, that intention was actually a good one, and
Yes.
it has technically worked.
I love, by the way, everyone's trying to snipe the bit boss from each other with these cheeky little messages. So we just had like a chain of like hunnits coming in, people stabbing, people birthday caking. So thank you, Keckle91. There can only be one. Tries to Highlander it, unfortunately, is immediately removed by a combination of Theris and Jizzle Doodle. Only for those guys to be usurped by Heavy Trevi. No, excuse me, it looks like Theris is still the bit boss right now.
Oh. Alright.
Wait, how does that work with the order of things?
I don't... That's what I was gonna ask.
Well, they all came down at the same second, so maybe it looks one order on my side, but realistically, he came in last.
Super fast Templar Archives in charge coming down here before the third base is even done. That is going to lead to an attack. I don't think it's going to be for Storm.
No, I think it's just Archons, you're right, but I was wondering if he's going to chrono, like, say, Twilight Council or something, but he's just happy to let this go. I just brought this up because he does have a decent amount of energy on these Nexus.
That's what he did last time, you know, and it might be because the timing that it hits is already so good, like it pairs up well with his Warp Prism or something like that, but he might just start Storm soon. He has a Forge.
It just happened again. So I see Black Spade Kemui with 100 bits that should be the last one cheered, but Terminator actually sniped it by you slurping him. And that's right, guys. I said you slurping because that's what he wrote in chat.
I was really confused.
Hey, Cuckoo Man 3 comes in and he takes 5 giant stabs and kills the bit boss. Let me reward you with... Do me a favor, Cuckoo Man, type in chat again. I'm going to give you a sub. That's your boss reward. Thank you very much for that. Meanwhile, we do have an actual game in front of us, and the attack is coming. A lot of roaches right outside Hurricane's doorstep.
Yeah. Well, Hurricane really felt like he was going to go for an attack, kind of backed off from it. Now doesn't have Storm or his Warp Prism with Archons at home. So it's a little bit awkward to start things off, but he is building Immortals. Like another one just popped out.
The shield battery's not actually in range of these units. Not that it matters. They're kind of getting one shot down by these roaches and ravagers. Void Ray is going to try and save the day.
Those Crystal Bios and the warping in charge odds were pretty good, but as you said, the Void Ray might just save the day.
Well, it's going to take forever to do it, though, so that's the thing. Impact will get cleaned up, but it's just a matter of when does he get cleaned up.
Proc count isn't getting too high yet.
I am legit loving this bit war, by the way. We've changed bit boss like 12 times in the last 10 minutes. This hasn't really caused him significant damage, but this has been pretty good. He's been trading out with the army supplies too. I really thought the Void Ray and the Archons were going to lock this down, but still not fully cleaned up yet. In fact, he was really tempted to go for the Immortal. That was going to be very brave under the Void Ray. Yeah,
definitely. So Hurricane holds and Impact a lot of cheap units at him, but on a limited economy, only just now getting to a better count of 67, but only on 3 bases. So really, where does this game even stand? I would say Hurricane still has a shot with like the strong anti-roach army he could get, but there are Hydras now on the way, so I think Impact just straight up has like a too good of an army lead.
So I just want to go out and say I think you guys broke the bit boss. It like legitimately isn't processing some of these bits because there's so many coming in so quickly. Like Carefree Rogue should have just become the new bit boss by stabbing it to death like 500 times. I'm gonna try refreshing this really quick.
Did it work?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Silence.
Sorry, it's just okay. We legitimately just got like a crazy amount of bits, like a stupid amount of bits that I'm not surprised it can keep up with it. So thank you guys all for your little contributions here and there, whether it's 100, 200, 500. I'll go back and I'll do a play-by-play of all this after, because right now we got another big attack coming down. This time he's got Hydras with it, so looking a little bit better because it's hitting before Storm's done. A couple force fields going to try and keep the army out.
Yeah, I think he should have waited. Don't want to give them the idea they can pounce on you, but Storm is almost done. He's going to have 4 of them ready to go. But does he have enough to back it up?
This is where SimCity gets a little bit awkward, because while it's keeping Impact out, it's also making it difficult for Hurricane to get in there with the Storms.
There we go. There we go.
These aren't the greatest Storms, though. There are a lot of Roaches getting hit by this, not so much Hydras. Grows the bottom land really well.
That was only 2 Storms. He had 4, I thought. He just morphed them into Archons, though.
But, he might have realized that they were just not being really effective. I mean, again, he was hitting like 3 or 4 Roaches at a time, but this is really snowballed. Impact now up 92, army supply to 21. I mean, even the point rate can't save him this time. There's Hydras. That's it. That's game. GG. Oh my god, it's still coming in. Jesus Christ. Impact takes the game, tying things up now 1-1. Instead of playing a commercial break, because we just did that when we shouldn't have, I'll start reading out these bits the best I can. So, even though the boss appears to be maybe broken, maybe not, this all started out with Terminator. The Black Spade Kamui killed him with 100 bits. The Cuckoo Man came in with 500, became the boss. But combination of Heavy Trevi, Black Spade Kamui, and Theris murdered him. 300 bits from Theris at the end there. Mathazar came in with 200 bits. Carefree Rogue came in with 1,500, but apparently all those bits missed because the boss was like bugged or something. The Black Spade Kamui, Theris, Jizzle Doodle all kill one another in that order. And then just now, Theris, I believe, has become the bit boss once more with 100 bits. It was like, that got really intense. I've seen like 2 people battle for bit boss before. I've not seen like 5 people try and do this. And I love that everyone's sticking with like 100 bits and no one's just like unzipping and flopping on the table. Like, well, I guess Carefree Rogue tried to, but yeah, super bugged out. I'm sorry about that too, Brian. Kevlar Scarf, also 6 months on that resub. Got missed through all that action. Thank you very much for that. But with a deep breath, I think we're caught up. And hopefully I didn't miss anybody. But nope, not entirely. Mathazar. This guy likes math. 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 = 5 times 100 is 500 bits. Mathazar. Let's do this. And Bractimus just tries to ruin it, but fails. 27 bits. Theris comes in. Forget what I said. Now the big guns are coming out. All right. Guys, girls, ladies and gentlemen, things are tied up 1-1. Thank you for the 800 bits, Theris. That's awesome to see. As well as Sound Phenomenon coming in with a Prime sub. Thank you very much for that. But it's game number 3. Spawning here in the top left. It's going to be the Blue Zerg Impact.
The top right as the red Protoss, it is Hurricane.
Things are getting super awesome here at the end of stream. Lex 470 470 also rocking it with a prime sub. Guys, we're at 11,000 or not 11, I wish. Wow, 1,110 subscribers now. And on top of this, all these little bits coming through. Black Spade Kamui coming once again, stabbing him down, taking the boss. But Theris resurrects and goes for another kill. 100 bits. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always think of the guy from Futurama. What's his name? Roberto. Yeah. Got my stabbing knife.
Of course. The map out of the boardwalk, we saw it before. Hurricane takes the gold base with his Nexus. Impact not going to be so eager against someone who could get a Warp Prism pretty quickly.
I'm just sitting here like, what's going on with these bits? It's really stepping up. Mathazar comes in with 300 to slay Theris, but then Bractimus immediately tries to slap him down with 1,500, but Unfortunately, I think he did it too quick and it bugged out. So
yeah.
Okay, so I think I see what's happening now. If basically 2 people cheer at the exact same time, it's only registering 1 and not 2. That's definitely a problem. And there's nothing we can do about that. But yo, know that we really appreciate the bits. I'm actually doing a quick refresh. We went from, before this best of 5 started, like 3,400 bits throughout the stream today. We're now at 11,900. So it's like 90 something bucks, which is phenomenal. This is the dream to see like everyone chipping in like a buck here and there, 100 bits, 100 bits. So I'm sorry for anyone that's getting super cucked on the bit boss, but please know Zombie Grub and I appreciate it greatly nonetheless.
Yeah, it's very nice. Stargate is in proxy. Gold base doesn't have anything quite yet.
Yeah, actually, there's no mothership core you can make. You gotta actually pull something, whether it's probes to deal with it or otherwise.
Did he get dicked over again?
No, he's got it this time. That
Okay,
actually went
good.
through. Bractimus, new bit boss, 1,300 health. Slays with 1,500. Thank you, Bractimus. This is not a huge problem for Impact. Or excuse me, for Hurricane. But Impact is getting some pretty good value out of this. Like, picking off a couple probes on top of this. Like, denying a little bit of mining. In fact, can you get 4 probes? No. Almost. 3 probes is still pretty good for 2 lings.
Damn. More lings are going to come in here and try and bypass to the gold base because it takes so much time to clean up.
Oh,
Actually, grab
surrounded
the
by
depth.
Oh, wow. That's where the probes have to get pulled. Oracle's on the way, but this is already doing way too much. He puts the pylon down. He doesn't want any more lings getting into the base. This is already caused too much damage. The fact that these are all not mining. Look at the income skyrocket for Impact because Hurricane's just not mining.
And Impact figures something is up, so he's building a spore crawler, a couple of spore crawlers, but they're a little bit late. Queen's still going to help mitigate the damage, and a drone pull means that he's only going to lose a couple, whereas Hurricane has lost a couple of probes and a lot more mining time.
Also had some more murdering going on outside of the game too with his bit boss. Black Spade Kamui comes in with enough bits to murder poor Bractimus. His short-lived reign of terror has come to an end, as Theris now has cheered 200 bits to kill him. This
Damn,
is like
guys.
This is a medieval monarchy, whatever bullshit going on.
Oh my god, that was a tap out of frustration.
I don't blame him either. Impact with so few I'm sorry guys, I'm not gonna lie. I should have cast that game more. It's one of the rare times I'll admit that. So much crazy bit boss action going on though. But Impact with, like, what was that? Like maybe 12 Zerglings in total basically won that game, right? Like that was too much, Zombie Grub. That was too much.
Yeah, it wasn't like it was a huge, 20 overlord ling drop. That was just snowball effect. It was bad.
Snowball effect in its truest, purest form. Another murder. Regicide continues. Bractimus comes back. He respawns, goes for more bits. Guys, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. It's been 2 games. We'll see. Carefree Rogue stabs back. 200 bits. Thank you guys so much. We'll be back in a few moments here. We're just going to go quick commercial break. Then we'll get to game number 4, 3, 4, 2, 1. Right. See you soon. So during the ad break, Zombie Grub found her new favorite thing ever, apparently.
It's good. It's on Reddit right now, titled "Deserves an Emmy for Best Drama."
All right, folks. It's game number 4, and this could be the deciding game. This tournament has been sponsored by and brought to you not just the awesome fans, alike the kinds that are throwing bits our way, but also through TING. And without TING, none of this would happen. We're on 4 seasons deep, season 3 at a live finals. I hope we can do that again next year. But yeah, be sure to go to bttv.ting.com. Check out the sponsors, learn more. They are a US-only mobile phone service worth looking into. But spawning here to the top left side of Neon Violet Square. It could be his last game today. It's the red Protoss Hurricane.
In the bottom right, as the blue Zerg. It's Impact.
And of course, this game already starting off with a bit of damage done to that boss. Who was that just now? Lord Richard 1317. And Bractimus, and wow, a lot of stuff actually happened. Blacksmith Kemui now with 200 bits, but Bractimus with 1,000 bits became the boss during the break, so it looks like he's pretty well set there, but people are taking little stabs at him bit by bit.
Literally. So.
Oh my god. Why does nobody have SCVs as their bit cheer mode things? Bit by bit would be so perfect for that.
Hi, he's a relic of the past, man.
Do you have custom cheer mode set up? You can do that.
No, I don't. I guess I could. I wasn't much of an all-inner myself, though. I did do a couple of SCV pools back when they were popular, because that was my way to defeat Protoss. Swear to God.
Stupid amount of health on the SCVs. Feels good, man.
No, not that far back.
Bractimus also heals himself now with 200 bits. I can't even believe these bits are still coming in. I said this during the break in text. I'm just going to say it now. Also, I got to pledge that I got to focus on the game this time. I felt really guilty. That was the worst cast I've done in a long time. But we're now at 17,000 bits. That's almost $200 through today's stream. That is insanity. So thank you guys so much. I want to actually say, you know, I was going to say I don't know what I did to deserve this, or we did to deserve this, but honestly, I just hope you guys are enjoying the show. I hope you guys are enjoying the channel, and if that's why you're throwing the bits down, that makes me very, very happy.
It's awesome. It's all from a couple of different $1 bit donations.
Yeah, dude, I'm all about this too. Like, it's always cool. Everyone talks about like the whales on Twitch. Every streamer's got that one person like who just has too much money to burn. This is the stuff I like to see. I like to see lots of little bits. This makes me very happy. So thank you guys so much.
Yeah. So last game, yeah, didn't really get to catch the minute details, but Impact did go for a bit faster of a pool, and perhaps the timing of the speedlings is just too shocking. But Hurricane really should have like taken it seriously. I think that was a game that probably you guys have played at least one or two of these games, right? Where it doesn't seem that big of a deal, and then a couple more come in, and you're like, well, I obviously should have walled, and then a couple more come in, and you're like, well, obviously I should have like not let it get this far, and then you just tap out, like not because you're necessarily dead. He was pretty dead. Like he had lost way too much. You weren't going to do anything, but also because you're super frustrated.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day too, the best way to phrase this really is like you've lost so much that even if you were to clean it up, you're probably just behind in the macro. You know, playing probes you can only do so many times before it's basically game over. Then you're just playing 5 minutes of borrowed time. The Oracle sets out, they're looking for some damage. Hurricane's actually got some pretty good stasis traps when he couldn't get kills, so we'll see which it's going to be for this. A fairly, I think, good question to ask because a lot of people don't know how this works for streamers. When it comes to bits, guys, you're paying for the whatever upfront when you buy the bits. So when we get bits, 1 bit equals 1 cent, and we get the full value of that. Affiliates do not. Affiliates get a little bit less because they have to pay for transaction fees, whereas Twitch pays for their fees when you're a partner. So yeah, basically 1 bit equals 1 cent if you ever want to figure out what the bits are worth on a partnered stream. There's no 50-50 split like subs or anything like that. We get all the bitty bits. But yo, Carefree Rogue, my dude, after a little bit of tussle between Bractimus, Blackspade, and so forth, Carefree Rogue comes in with 1,300 bits to cement himself as boss once again. And Good Riddance also is now 1 year on the channel. I think you know the drill, but in case you don't, send us a direct message here on Twitch. Don't send a whisper. Whispers are disabled. Asking about your part 2. We'll send you a form to fill out, and hopefully you can get yourself a nice real-life memento from your time spent on BaseTradeTV. Oh, this is going to be annoying. There are some sentries in the Adepts, though, so this shouldn't be too bad. This isn't going to look like last game.
No, no, definitely not.
Is the Oracle going to scout? Where'd the Spire go down, actually? Natural? Natural. So I don't think he's seen it yet. Ooh. No, he has not seen the Spire yet.
Yeah, that's a bit of a clever place to put it. I don't know how often you're going to go all the way around the main base.
Yeah, I like
you're
that.
Definitely thinking more about escaping to the left, you know? So Hurricane might never scout the Spire, but if this attack coming up here... Actually, no, I think the Spire's still going to be on time. Yeah, he's just going to be caught in a really bad place with charge and +1, a bunch of gateways, and no way to really use them except to try and split them up and buy time, which that actually might be very effective. Gonna have to wait and see.
Thank you, United Chaos, for that Prime sub. And I'm loving the positioning that you brought it up. I didn't think much of it when I was just looking for it, but this really is the most back of the base it could be. Anything in the main would be scouted. It's a typical mineral line harass. If you go to harass the mineral line here, you're probably not going much deeper than south. Like, this actually makes Such a clever spot for the Spire.
Yeah. But will it be game ending? He didn't put all of his resources into the Spire, all that he had right now, but with a Hydralisk Den, a Lurker Den, an upgrade, not going fully into Mutas. If he had gone fully into Mutas, there's a strong chance it snowballs to a victory. But even without that, he's going to get a lot of probes. He's going to be able to come back and kill the Warp Prism. Hurricane's going to need to buy time.
No shield battery this time. Hurricane knows the strength of this too, so he's definitely regretting not having made it. Focuses down some of the Stalkers. Not a terrible move. Almost gets the Oracle. That would have been really nice to remove all Revelations from the game. But Lurker Den coming up for impact behind this. I don't know if we're going to see him go for the upgrade, but I really am glad to see Lurkers in general. 10 probes die for this, and the Muta is still alive for the time being.
It's a good sign that we have Lurkers at all. So there might be some urgency to get to the quick burrow upgrade, but that is it's Hive and that's a ways away. The Mutas have used themselves up basically. Even a couple Phoenixes to take care of 6 Mutas, no problem, and that's exactly what happened here. But 12 probes in total, a big reaction. Hurricane didn't end up really going for the charge lot attack that he was hoping for. He was distracted. It would have been cleaned up by a handful of roaches. This was really good.
So mentioning the Lurkers here, if it goes to Hive Tech, you guys should be aware of what's possibly coming. Right now, Lurkers have like a speed upgrade, and this affects their burrow speed. So it's almost like an instant burrow. They no longer have to spend that time fidgeting trying to get on the ground. It's just like whoop, up, whoop, down. And with their speed increase, getting on top of an army like that is no problem. There's some really disgusting clips that have made Reddit and highlight reels, but like, I really hope we actually get to see not just regular Lurkers, but Impact taking advantage of new patch Lurkers.
I think Impact could have had a very strong case for winning the game if he had just pushed right now. The Storm wouldn't have been done. Hurricane just invested into a lot of units he didn't really want, like the Stalkers. And until that Zealot got there, didn't actually scout this incoming push either. So, did wait for the Lurkers. They're still going to be an important addition. They're not going to be nearly as vulnerable to the Storms either.
Shield batteries are going to be a bit annoying to deal with, but they're already being drained, so they're kind of out of the fight already. Takes out the cannon on the left side. Gateways, oh my god, I just realized with the gateways being destroyed, Hurricane's going to lose out on a ton of production here. Not to mention, he just can't deal with the Lurkers right now. He's got no detection until the Oracle cast Revelation. Even then, he doesn't get all the Lurkers.
Yeah, missing one. A lot of damage can come from the Storm, but you really need more to back it up, and Hurricane just absolutely demolished here.
I think Impact's just running a little too rampant at this point. This might just be the series ending right here and now, up 2-1. There we go, ladies and gentlemen, Impact gonna join Denver in the finals. Also, this ends up being really funny because it is 2 Zergs. So we actually have a perfectly balanced Protoss to Zerg ratio in that round of 8. So congratulations to Impact. Also, we are 950 bits shy of 20,000. Can we make that happen, guys? Can I bait that out of you guys real quick? It's not gonna thing. We're also up to, wow, between gifting and real people, like 50 subs today. This has been a phenomenal stream. We had Not Spartan 117 give us a brand new sub during the end of that game. Thank you very much. Aquanuts just now for 38 months on that resub. And Heavy Armor 33 for 2 months says, here's my free love. Thank you very much for that Prime. Here's what we're going to do, guys. Zombie Up and I have got to go grab some papers, some pens. We're going to actually draw up. We're going to do a live drawing of the round of 8. If you're unfamiliar with how this works, she'll take like 4 of the losers, I'll take 4 of the winners, and we'll just draw them against each other. The only rule to... Oh my...
Woo!
Diesel Max Power, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Hashtag Scumbag Rifkin. And Heavy Trevi, thank you for the 100 bits as well, saying fine, take my bits. Anyways, the only rule we have for drawing the round of 8 is no players from the same group can fight each other. This isn't quite like WCS where they go as far as saying they can't fight each other until the finals, but just strictly in the round of 8 they can't fight each other. So it's totally possible Denver and Impact fight each other in the semifinals, but not at all possible that they would fight each other in the round of 8. Same goes for the rest of the players. So we're going to play some sponsored content from Ting. If you are going to take off from the stream, have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. But if you are sticking around, we're doing the live drawing after this commercial break. So sit tight. We'll see you guys soon, and enjoy a word from... Jesus Christ. Stunt777. You know what? I'm going to sub you. Enjoy this gift sub, my friend. Thank you so much for those 1,000 bits. I'm going to do that right before we go to break here. And then Hello Zergling also threw in 100 little bitty bits too. each. Oh my god! I just realized. Do you think Twitch called them bits because each bit counts?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. Anyways, enjoy your sub. Thank you for the bits, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back in a bit. All right, folks, we are back. I'm actually just going to do a quick screenshot and a tweet as to what's going on here. So, again, congratulations to Impact on advancing. We've written out the names. We'll show you all the names before we put them in the hat. It's a fair drawing, all that good stuff. But we're going to determine what the round of 8 looks like. Now, keep in mind, the round of 8 has a set date. But I do believe there's a chance we may have to have Mana's matches, no matter who he ends up fighting. But we may have to have Mana's matches end up... being replayed, because I think he may have a conflicting tournament with, surprisingly enough, Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, he joined the Poland team.
But, all right, real quick, congrats to Impact. Let's swap to our faces for now on making it out of the group. Now we do a live group drawing for the round of 8. All right, so there's the tweet. Retweet it if you want. That'd be awesome. If not, not a big deal. So we have papers and a hat in front of me, at least. Do you have a hat? I don't know if you're using a hat.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So to show you guys real quick, each of the names are different. I've got the winners of each group. Zomgrab has the second place finishers of each group. And the only rule, again, the only rule is that we cannot draw people into the same group. So like, we cannot draw Solar versus Hero. But they can be on the same side of the bracket. I don't care if they fight each other in the semifinals. It's just for the round of 8. So, to show you real quick, I've got Scarlet, I've got Solar, I've got Mana, and I've got Denver. I'm going to put those in my little Overwatch chat.
Mine's already put in there.
Yeah, one sec. I should actually mix mine up real quick. Also, before we do this, thank you. A lot of people throw more bits in. But of course, thank you, Klebos, for the 33-month resub. You guys made today's stream really freaking awesome. So thank you all those involved. And of course, hit the follow button if you haven't already. We're almost at 300 followers for the stream, which is super dank. But let's get to it. I just got to have the page open here so we don't actually... Last time we did this, I didn't have this open. So, okay. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. My first draw is... Yeah.
Okay.
So I've already drawn mine. I'm waiting to say it to you show yours. Because she can't see my camera, guys. That's how we avoid cheating.
So are we showing them?
Yeah. I got Denver
okay.
and it... nope. Redraw it. Both of us just redraw it. Good start.
Amazing.
Thank you, Recept. All right. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. I got Denver again. Fuck.
I got Hero.
Okay, so Denver versus Hero. I'm just gonna write versus Hero on here too, so I don't forget. All right, and this will be the top of the bracket too. So this is like we're going from the top of the bracket to the bottom of the bracket, guys. All right. Next up, you do the countdown.
3, 2.
I got Scarlet.
DNS.
All right, Scarlet versus DNS. All right, 2 left. All right. Mine actually got stuck in my hat. Hang on, I gotta pull it out the side thing. All right. So yeah, without looking. 3, 2, 1. I got Solar.
Neeb.
Solar versus Neeb. Not bad.
And the last one.
Oh, who could it be? Let me just... Razzmatazz. I'm trying to get to jump out of my hat, but it's not. All right, I got Mana.
Impact versus Mana.
Versus Impact. Okay, so top of the bracket to the bottom of the bracket is Denver versus Neeb. Or excuse me, Denver versus Hero, Scarlet versus DNS. Bottom side is Solar versus Neeb, and Mana versus Impact. And how did we draw no mirror matchups?
We're so good.
Do you realize what we just did for all of you? You don't have to deal with any ZVZ or PvP till the semifinals. Oh, fuck. I can't wear a hat on top of my headset. That's so cool, though. So I'm just going to actually put these here so I can write this up in Team Liquid before I forget later. But yeah, Denver versus Hero, Scarlet versus DNS, Solar versus Neeb, and Mana versus Impact will be the matchups. I do want to do as many of these, all of these live, but with some folks doing WSG, some people doing Heroes, there's like a lot of people actually shuffling and moving around over the next couple weeks. And right now, the schedule for the round of 8 is set for... What was it, 22nd or something? Hang on, where did I put that schedule thing? Yeah, Wednesday the 22nd will be the round of 8. That's also going to be the day that Jesse comes on stream to do a backflip. And we set it up like this because he wanted to do it during the semifinals. And I said, but if you do it during the semifinals, it's a weekend and you won't be at work. He's like, so? Like, you should get a crowd of people around you when you do this, man. It'll be awesome to get like that hype crowd when you do the flip and everyone goes like, oh. So I don't know if he's going to embarrass himself or not, but yeah. So the round of 8 is going to have 4 best of 5s, plus a Jesse backflip. And we'll see who advances onto the semifinals from there. The weekend of the semifinals is pretty much locked in. We can't really move it around. So Saturday will be the semifinals. That's 2 best of 7s. That's Saturday the 25th will be 2 best of 7 semifinals. And Sunday we'll have a 3rd place match of a best of 5 and the grand finals of a best of 9. And then a bonus little best of 3 of Rifkin versus Jesse somewhere in the mix.
Cool.
I'm excited to see how this plays out. So those who joined today for the stream, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the show. We will be back tomorrow, actually, with Corsair Cup. And then after that's the Elima League, then the Ting round of 8, and all of these things drop on our events tab. So if you want to see what we're casting, when we're casting, be sure to follow that tab religiously. But of course, hit the follow button, etc. etc. Johnny O came back for a 23-month resub while we're doing the draw. Thank you very much for that. All the wonderful people. There's too many to name, but Blackspade, Kamui, Heavy Trevi, Stunt, Diesel Max Power, Carefree Rogue. Just off the top of my head, more people cheered bits than that. I'm sorry if I've not mentioned here, but just in general, if you cheered bits today, thank you very much. That was a super fucking awesome thing to have. We never expect... When Zombie Up and I got go live, like, we never expect money or bits. It's always just really nice when it actually happens. So thank you guys both so much for that. Also, looks like Mech is beautiful. I know he's one of the guys who actually wrote in asking for the sub gift through Discord. Got a gift from Hard Revenge just now. So thank you very much for that, Hard Revenge. So before we go, !sub, then !sub gift in chat as well. And, man, who keeps... Someone took us off Team Liquid before the group drawing was done. I'm getting really annoyed with this. I don't even know who I'm supposed to complain to. Someone is like religiously waiting to take us off Team Liquid every time we're live.
Yeah, I mean, they might be thinking they're helpful. They might also be updating Wikipedia at the same time, because I was instantaneous, but it's a little annoying.
Yeah. If you're watching and you're doing that, quit it. Fuck. Anyways, for those who did tune in today, hope you enjoyed the show. And as we said, we'll be back with the Corsair Cup tomorrow, which I'm hoping will be a good one. I actually reached out to every European pro, basically, saying, please play this month. We got that free-to-play hype. We're going to have some front page promotion. Let's make the most of it. Let's show the fans the best Europe has to offer. So I don't know how many people actually are going to sign up after hearing that message and that plea, but hopefully we'll get more than average. Also, Blacksblade, Kamui, right here at the end of the stream. 100 bits is no thank you for being awesome. So stream and more StarCraft 2. I'm sorry I read that out so awkwardly, but thank you very much for those last bits. All right, guys, time to say our goodbyes. And we got to go find somebody to host. We're probably going to host Hero Marine, but maybe I'll swap it to somebody else. We'll see. Either way, it's almost noon, and I can't even believe it. We've been live for so long. So thank you, Zombie Grub, for joining me today. You want to get your shout-outs out first?
You can follow me on Twitter at CG Gaming and on Twitch, Zombie Grub. I'll be streaming in like 30 minutes to an hour, so check it out. Oh,
good luck with that. I'm gonna go sleep, man. For me, follow me on Twitter at @Riff_Kings. Follow the channel at BaseTradeTV. Hit the follow button on the channel. All that good stuff. Make sure you don't miss any of the action we got here. But until tomorrow, guys, have a great one. Be sure to check out our sponsors over on bttv.ting.com. Corsair down below in the links. Purchase a pair of MeUndies and make your underwear the most comfortable experience you've ever had. And last but not least, consider subscribing with Twitch. But you guys have already blown it up with bits today. I'm not going to ask. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.